Okay, I am assuming that this is live. If not, it means I'm being lied to. Let me know how the audio is. There should not be any issues like last time. At least I hope. I'll slowly let people start trickling in. Am I a little bit soft? Alright, let's see here. 1 second. That should be a little bit better, I hope. Again, let me know how the audio is to make sure there's no issues and we can maybe begin the conversation. I know there's some people who are still finishing it up, so I don't want to begin anything. However, for the people who are still in the chat, feel free to give me your comments, thoughts, criticisms below. We can begin the conversation. This was a interesting video to make for a few reasons. Namely of how much of a soft touch I needed to give it. Aiden, thank you for joining us. Because on one hand, I knew I needed to have some harsh language in it, but on the other hand, I didn't want to push people away by just being a dick. Because it is a topic I feel is really important and does not get enough conversation surrounding it. Because who wants to be the guy to tell people to, pardon my French, grow the fuck up? And that's kind of what I'm saying. When I'm saying, you don't need to forget about them. In fact, you can even keep watching them. But at the same time, just grow the fuck up. Don't be that guy who calls out of work to play a video game on day one release. That's something our culture has kind of accepted as being a thing, and everyone laughs at, but I think it's abysmal. Fair enough, it's helping me rethink a lot of stuff for things I like. That's good, that's one of the things I hope to do with people. I didn't mean to burst any bubbles with talking about how bad cartoon shows were back in the day. Something which I took out of the original video was go back and watch the very first episode of X-Men, the original series. Try and finish it. It's awful. It's really awful. In the meantime, I am drinking English breakfast that came from pre-bagged tea. Somebody gave me this tea as a gift, pre-bagged English breakfast. Kind of a weird thing. I'm not very good at faking thanks, and so I had to give a very awkward type of thank you for somebody who gave me much lower quality version of what I already had, being a tea business owner. People say it's a thought that counts, and I would agree this was not given much thought. And it's still too hot. Dang it. It's kind of funny me being a tea business owner, but still do not have enough of a palate to handle really hot tea. But anyway, back to the plot. There was a few things that spurred on me making this video. One was being the overwhelming amount of videos that were just flooding my YouTube about Kevin Smith's He-Man. It's, what is going on here? Sorry, while doing this, I have a few things open while people chit-chatting, and aha. Okay, I'm back. Even though I don't often get nostalgia because I forgot things a lot. Not a bad thing to forget things. I forget things all the time. I could have made this video much longer if I wanted to. Talking about, going into specifics of all the different shows I mentioned. And also mentioning some of the good things about them, where it wasn't all terrible. You know, Hey Arnold's had probably more good episodes than the other ones I watched. I only watched between 2 and 5 episodes for all the shows I mentioned. They got the good old Pigeon Man, Stupid Kid. But then there's also several other episodes that were just forgettable. But they do fun things with things like sound effects, character design. One of the things that old shows did better than new shows is character design. Or nowadays, everyone's got the same exact art style and every character looks and feels the same. Back in the day, that was not the case. So I'll give the old shows props for that. But I guess you can say the storyboarding for the shows were not all that good. Which, when you're kids, like I mentioned before, when you're kids, it's not really a big deal. Violently dehydrated, go drink some tea. That'll help you not be so dehydrated. So what was I saying? I lost my track of thought. So what was I talking about? I was talking about characters looking the same. Back in the day, not every episode was good, but some of them were good. I completely forget. I saw the name Violently Dehydrated. When you say that to a T-man, well, there's only one thing I can say. So yeah, I've been babbling on enough. Any more thoughts, comments, criticisms, anything from the video? Let me know, we can have this conversation. If not, I don't have much of an issue of ending it early. That's not... This isn't the main focus of the day. I do have Dragon Ball Part 4 I need to get back to, and I'm at a part where I did not think I was going to do, but I am going to do, and now I gotta think of how I'm gonna do it. Right now the focus is on this. How many people we got? We have 3 viewers at the moment. One of them is me, Aiden Dixon, and Violently Dehydrated if you're still here. I wonder. So originally I expected there to be a lot more pushback to this video, but I think people might have seen the title and just decided, nope, I refuse to leave the bubble I am in. Which is definitely a possibility. Not a possibility I like people having, but doesn't change the fact that it's the way it is. Mostly the remake situation. Yeah, absolutely everything for some reason needs to be remade, and I hate it. Just let things be the way they are. Obviously, most of the focus was on Western media, because that's what happens the most. It happens a little bit in Eastern media, but nowhere near as much. It's mostly a Western culture problem. How many more things need to be remade or rebooted? There was one show I saw, because now I'm really seeing it, yeah. What was the name of that show? Oh, Johnny Test. Yeah, it's not a show I ever watched. I think it was after my time as a kid. That's right, Johnny Test. Alright, 2005. Okay, it's not as old as I thought, but it's a show that ran from 2005 to 2014, and they're making a remake of it. It was 15 years ago. It doesn't need a remake. It wasn't some like high-end cartoon. There was absolutely no need for them to redo it. I don't know, maybe it has some kind of bad ending and they felt like they need to do it again. Like I said, I never really watched the show. I think I might have caught an episode or two at some point, but meh. People seem to have some fatigue going on with all of the different Marvel movies, superhero movies. And like I said, they've all pretty much become the same thing. I'm going to try and find a lot more original content. Mostly already do that, but now I'm more determined. Good. There's a lot of people out there who have a lot more original stories to tell. But nobody wants to listen because everyone wants to stay within their own little bubble. And as you may have seen from this channel, I like to break people out of said bubbles. But this one kind of hits really close to home to people. What I said in the video with the extent people have taken nostalgia to being a form of psychosis, I mean it. It's called Peter Pan syndrome. Where people are just living within the nice little, what would you call it, bubble? Safety blanket? They're just remaining children and refuse to break out of it. That's something which I probably should have mentioned more in the video, where I'm not saying never watch anything old again. I mean, for the love of God, my entire business is kind of based around it. But more in the East than the West. But you have to realize that adult things come first. And that's the part that most people seem to miss. The whole adulting thing. No one seems to find that phrase a little bit gross. Oh, I don't feel like adulting today. Motherfucker, why are you even saying something like that? If you're talking about the basic human condition that we all feel, where we're just tired and don't want to do things, well, deal with it. Unfortunately, a ridiculous amount of people don't. I'm amazed at how many people I've seen in the past, how old am I, 32, so, I don't know, 14 years, do stuff like call out of work just because they don't feel like working that day. It's ridiculous. Alright, I don't think there's gonna be too much that needs to be said with this. This one was one of the lower end videos. I kind of expected it. I decided to try out the live stream just in case I was wrong, but I wasn't. So I think we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. It's not too big of a deal. Not much else needs to be said. There's no point in dragging this along. Seems kind of childish, but yeah. So I'll go ahead and wrap this guy up. Thank you all who came to this live stream. Thank you all who actually watched the video. And yeah, I'm going to take a few minutes to take a little break. And then, as I usually do, get right back to work.